Hello and welcome back to Let's Play the Lamplighters League with me, Bragaton. Let's speak to Latif and Purnima.
So, you can really see the future.
No one ever says to a chef, so you can really cook? Or a woodcutter, so you can really cut wood?
I meant no offense. I've just never met a real one before. Could you tell me my future?
I love to look at the futures of rude young men. What would you like to know?
Will the gentleman Jin become famous?
No. Anything but that.
But that's my question.
What is fame to the stars or the threads of destiny? Besides, no one ever likes the answer.
If you can't really see the future, you can just say so.
Nice try. Now get out, kid.
We ought to have a dance one of these evenings. That'll lighten the place up.
A lovely dream, but we have no music.
Locke's got a gramophone. I'll have Constantaris fetch us some records the next time he's out.
I've hardly danced at all since the crash.
Yes, all the best places are the ones that went under. You ever been to the Noctambule in Paris?
In the autumn of 27, I was there almost every night.
Oh, that settles it. Got any requests?
It would be nice to dance to Maurice Chevalier again.
Ah, excellent choice. Let's have something with a bit more brass, too. Armstrong and his Hot Five, I think.
We'll need a captain to find us some dancing shoes, too.
Funny, I thought that went without saying. You're quite handy with that pistol, mate. What's your best range?
I don't know. I've never measured it.
I hit a bullseye at 78 meters with the Mouser. Think you can give me a run for my money?
I know I can.
There's a shooting range out the back. Shall we?
Let's go.
Let's make a deal.
I could see this being really good on Purnima. But I won't buy it yet.
Welcome.
So I did go back and check. We got King's Ether instead of the Serric Steel from the quest. So we did complete the optional objective like we were supposed to. Just the quest reward was incorrectly labeled.
Something challenging today, I hope.
Do you want to know your fate?
Which works for me because we can get Superior Fortunes 2. Significantly increased chance of a rare card from the undrawn hand. The rarest of the undrawn hand's wonders, rendered common by way of the Cartomancer's skill.
Let's shuffle again.
And I keep putting off getting Restore 3 because I don't think the final upgrade for it's that worthwhile. But this, Opportunist on Purnima, is fantastic. Upon receiving a buff, Purnima gains +1 AP, can activate 1 time per round. I'm assuming she can proc it on herself, because when she reloads she gets Inspiration. So she can reload for free, but she can also get +1 AP from Anna Sophia. Let's grab that. And I guess I'll grab Fortitude here as well, mostly for the +4% damage. Okay, let's assign the intelligence missions. Here we get 2 intelligence and 20 supplies.
Leave nothing to chance.
And here we'll get 3 healing and 50 supplies.
Do whatever it takes.
And let's go and do Nicastro's high setup. We'll get 113 supplies and 12 skill points. Infiltrate Assumption House and eliminate the Deep Slayer that nests inside. The Nicastro Defector won't reveal what he knows of Abyssal Nectar until the monster that haunts him is dead. This is a critical mission. I think the game is patched. Because previously we couldn't hear the plane during the loading screen. Also, the music picked up in the hideout and the main menu. We'll even whisper of Abyssal Nectar. If you have ever escaped the cult that calls it its holiest of holies. But sometimes a terrible shock, along with the healthy fear of the ocean, can lead a lost man to shore. Mages found one such, a former devotee to the undersea god, who now says he'll happily spill about the nectar, but only if we kill a creature that has stalked him since doubt first entered his heart. The creature nests in Assumption House, an old Nicastro estate. No trap could be better baited, but it's the best lead the League has had on Abyssal Nectar in 200 years.
Assumption House. The beast that hunts our informant is here. Somewhere.
Sooner this thing is dead, sooner we'll get our lead on the nectar. Let's go!
Why not? Into the old pocket with you.
Who would stand guard in a place like this? Watch my back.
What's this then?
A letter. Uncle, thank you ever so much for your kind invitation. What a pearl this Assumption House is. I cannot imagine a better place to carry our task to fruition. My sister and I have done as you asked, hosting salons and socials for police, politicians, and the local gentry. Intimidation and bribery is an intoxicating combination, and before long, they're eating out of the palms of our hands. Should any of our new friends prove foolish enough to raise a voice against us, Lucrezia will be quick to silence them. As you're no doubt aware, she is quite efficient. In half a year's time, the tide will bloom red, and initiations will begin once more. My daughters will be among them, and she'll earn my mother's name. How much brighter Assumption House will feel with a child inside, and how much she will learn of the priesthood. We must prepare her, Lucrezia and I. Her future is ripe with our triumph. I have seen it in visions, uncle, as have you, I'm sure. She'll use the Banished Court to achieve our ends. She'll make the tower her plaything. The Devouring King will be reborn, but only if my daughter is ready. His name, Viera. The briny Baroque. The once lavish furnishings are damp to the touch and reek of salt and mildew.
This chap's mine.
Overheard. I wonder what the inside of the chapel looks like. You've been here too long.
All right, let's go. My sister and brother showed me how to do this. This should buy you some time.
This always works. Except when it don't. Come on, go check it out. You know you wanna.
You know what to do. Then do it. We can make it out of this. I know we can.
Okay, with the new sounds, let's go ahead and turn it down a bit. Well, maybe that's okay. We'll see.
I'm getting good at this.
Run for the hills, boys! My sights.
Reloading.
I think we're safe this turn anyway. Because it's mostly... Oh, nope, she was in range. I do think I want to turn down the sound effects a bit.
Light 'em up! Buffalo Bill, eat your heart out.
I have the area covered.
Getting too crowded for my liking.
Keep on like this, and the noble houses will be ruins in no time. Together now!
Good. That's sorted.
Well, that was a pretty clean fight,
Let's make tracks.
excluding the one hit that Eddie took from the Acolyte. But it did seem like he was far enough away not to take a hit. A letter. Written in a spindly hand with mottled purple ink. Niece, your initiation day approaches. When the red tide blooms and the waves froth with blood, you'll be taken to Assumption House. There, you'll prove yourself a Nicastro, as I did when I came of age. Success will bring you adoration and power, and a name to call your own. Zorana, like your mother's mother, a good strong name. Failure will see you mangled and discarded, just as my brothers were. a filigree of meat to anoint the Deep Slayer's lair. And so, my sweet, show courage. Remember your hymns and couplets, the gospel of salt, the brine water verses. You fill your heart with the pelagic maw's beauty. This proxy will not harm you. For your devotion must be genuine, child. Lies will not protect you from the perils of the deep. Attend my words and prove your worth, and you will take your place at your mother's side. It would break my heart to forget you, child. I pray that you succeed.
Shame. Someone left this lying around.
The dead hearth. The chimney flue is overgrown with a strange, dripping fungus.
The floor feels strange, spongy, like walking on the ocean floor.
The waterlogged stacks. Row upon row of pristine tomes crowd the wet and sagging bookshelves. Their lustrous, leathery covers shine invitingly in the half-light.
Ordnance ain't pretty, but it sure as hell works.
What's this then?
The Codex Elatmus, Volume 5. On the Slayers of the Deep. A gift and offering from our guest devouring king. Sorry, great. In form, they're quite similar to the Stalkers of the Deep. You know them by their vibrant hue and the patterns woven into their mottled hides. The Deep Slayer is a secret strength of the Nicastro line, and has been from the time of antiquity. In his benevolence, our Abyssal Lord sent 100 immortal Deep Slayers to serve as our house's guardians and instruments of war. Alas, their numbers have dwindled, but now but a handful remain. Our few remaining Deep Slayers are cherished and revered. At the Pump House, they stand sentry, destroying the foes of our faith. And at Assumption House, they stand in place of the Pelagic Maw himself, the overseers of initiation and the ruin of the unworthy. The Journal of Janus Nicastro 1. 12 January 1772. A busy day. Broke bread with shipwrights from Sweden, Denmark, and the Kingdom of Prussia. Each pled his case to maintain in service our shipping fleet. Their attempts to woo me over fell on deaf ears, for the Nicastro line has its own methods, those sanctified by our devouring king. After ridding myself of these nuisances, I busied myself with letters from the priesthood, which has made great progress in India, the Americas, and the Scandinavian states. In Sweden, the cult has infiltrated the Aurora Society. Excerpts from the Cult Epiphany and the Brinewater hymns have already begun appearing in their literature. We'll open a chapter in Stockholm soon. Satisfied that the faith continues to flourish, I turn my attention inward. A goblet of raw nectar, the gift of our devouring king, opened my eyes to his divine will. It was in this exalted state that I attended to matters of strategy. By this time next month, another dozen of our Deep Slayers will patrol the Baltic, sowing terror in our rivals and sinking their fleets. This time, grapeshot will not touch them. I know it in my soul. The visions do not lie to those with faith enough to interpret them. As in the days of antiquity, our great house will rule the seas. Lord Janus Nicastro. Oh.
Ah, can I buy you a beer? Divine Mother, give me strength. I'll make this quick.
have been paying attention.
Look at you, Swatter.
All right. Good. Improves our position.
The Journal of Janus Nicastro II. 25 March 1778. Drank today. Clearly, our recent losses are a mark of divine interference, the tampering of some other god, or perhaps the accursed Lamplighter's and their infernal undrawn hand. The situation calls for insight, and the Abyssal Nectar is the wellspring from which inspiration flows. And so I drank from dawn to dusk, and let him steer my mind. Thus was a great vision born, which I have ordered done. Our magnificent new Assumption House will double as a cathedral to our devouring king. I have seen it in my dreams, a ritual of initiation, with our remaining Deep Slayers as proxies for our king. The clergy did not like my edict, that was plain as day. But neither did they challenge it, for I am the Nicastro, a seer of signs and omens. By the divine will of our Abyssal Lord, I will shepherd this house to glory. Our influence will grow, and by the turn of the next century, our king will be reborn. Lord Janus Nicastro.
Ooh, the undrawn hand appears.
A bunch of other goodies.
Shall we? Hop to, chaps.
The vile monument. The chiseled recesses of this monstrous figure are pulled with stagnant brine.
This chapel is vile. It's sacrilege.
The place of rituals. The surface of this monolithic altar is alive with strange organic growths. Janus Nicastro. The inscription carved into the base of the statue reads, Janus Nicastro, 1733 to 1801. Lord of House Nicastro, embraced by the deep at the caves of Yelada, where he pledged a dozen initiates to the Opener of Doors as a token from our devouring king. The sodden floorboards. A trail of putrefying mucus befouls the hallway floor.
Divine Mother, grant me your healing miracle. Are you ready?
This must be its lair.
The most dangerous of the devouring king's brood. In some circles of the Nicastro cult, Deep Slayers are worshipped like demigods.
Mutilated bodies. A pile of mangled corpses bearing unnaturally vicious wounds.
Don't stop now!
Shall we?
Wanna dance?
Absolute legend I am. Back the squid.
Well, that was super easy. But now they get a free turn. That's annoying. I played too well.
Oh, that hurt. He hurt me.
Right, because I think it still had several turns before it spawned, but they forced to spawn because we took out the boss.
This battle is ours to win. This war is ours to win. I did not ask for this.
Okay.
How do you like to taste the lead?
That's probably worth it.
Y'all may want to start running.
Keep going. We can beat them.
Get!
God, I love this job. Ooh, right in the soft bits.
Okay.
This is your fault, not mine.
Let us make this right.
Come on out now!
Well, that's annoying.
Come on, reload.
Cavalry's coming.
Contact.
Whoops. I assumed that when I hit tab, it just target that guy.
We have righteousness on our side.
I was mistaken.
Bloody perfect shot, wasn't it?
There. Is everyone okay?
Right to it.
This ought to come in handy.
Well, I think we could have played the mission better, but still not bad. Really was that one wave of enemies spawning right on top of me and then getting a free turn that... Well, that's the only reason we took as much damage as we did. I'm not sure how to say that. Jini Wamir Nicastro? The inscription carved into the base of the statue reads, Jini Wamir Nicastro, 1826 to 1901. Seneschal of House Nicastro. Upon reaching his 75th year, Jini Wamir entered the surf and was embraced by the deep. The Hall of Ancestors. Statues line the hall, the likeness of long-dead Nicastros. In the low light, they almost seem to move.
Hold up.
Let me get over there. Radomir Nicastro. The inscription carved into the base of the statue reads, Radomir, or Radomir, Nicastro, 1875 to 1917. Acolyte of our devouring king. Killed in action at the Battle of Kobadin, after driving an enemy battalion to madness with his hymns to the abyss.
These are the Nicastros, huh? Creepy looking bunch.
Bogdana Nicastro. The inscription carved into the base of the statue reads, Bogdana Nicastro, 1783 to 1850. Lady of House Nicastro, last seen aboard the Maladin's Gast, which disappeared into the South Pacific Gyre on the June solstice of 1850. Milosh Nicastro. The inscription carved into the base of the statue reads, Milosh Nicastro, 1745 to 1774. Acolyte of our devouring king and oracle of House Nicastro. Followed in his mother Tamila's wake after 6 months of prophetic dreams granted him by imbibition. Vila Nicastro. The inscription carved into the base of the statue reads, Vila Nicastro, 1813 to 1847. Acolyte of our devouring king. In an ecstasy of nectar, Bella ascended the cliffs at Amona with her lover and took flight.
Into the old pocket with you.
Tamila Nicastro. The inscription carved into the base of the statue reads, Tamila Nicastro, 1721 to 1773. Seneschal and Oracle of House Nicastro. Blessed on her deathbed by a vision of the king's flood, she tore out her eyes and offered them to her children, that they might inherit her gift. Zlatinka Nicastro. The inscription carved into the base of the statue reads, Zlatinka Nicastro, 1550 to 1570. Priestess of House Nicastro. At the Inquisition's approach, gave herself to the Deep Slayers rather than mouth the words of the Roman idol. Vladimiru Nicastro. The inscription carved into the base of the statue reads, Vladimiru Nicastro, 1346 to 1398. Lord of House Nicastro. Denied the deep by the ingratitude and heresy of his serfs, who left his body on the steps and burned his head. The sea does not forgive. Bogdan Nicastro. The inscription carved into the base of the statue reads, Bogdan Nicastro, 1448 to 1515 and 1530. Priest of House Nicastro, embraced by the deep in 1515, returned in 1530 to bring our house the writings of the king, whereupon he underwent the final metamorphosis. Dragoslava Nicastro. The inscription carved into the base of the statue reads, Dragoslava Nicastro, 1600 to 1699. Seneschal of House Nicastro, drowned in her bed on the eve of the new century. Can't read today, but I am still under the weather, so you'll have to excuse me.
Why not?
Is this it, or is there going to be a final fight? So we had to fight Strum when we did the heist setup at his place, right?
With that creature dead, our informant is free to tell us where the nectar is.
I guess it's also possible he was just in the area, like on the world map. It wasn't tied to us doing his heist setup. It was just coincidence. The creature that haunted our Nicastro informant is dead. I knew so 5 hours before even receiving Captain Constantaris' communique, when a terrible scream interrupted my work. I ran to the informant's room and found him rolling on the floor, sobbing tears of joy. As soon as he could speak again, he drew a very detailed map to the distillery where he swears House Nicastro makes its Abyssal Nectar. When the agents arrive, it'll be time to plan a heist. Alright, the Sage, the Shield Maiden, the Revelation, and the Comet. Let's upgrade this. So it goes up to a 7% crit chance. And that's it. The Shield Maiden, target teammate takes 36% less damage for 2 rounds. The Revelation, inflict blinded on all enemies in the target area. And the Comet, plus 7% hit chance. On reload, this agent becomes inspired. A light that spans the vault above. Let's go and give that to him.
I aim to stay alive, by whatever means necessary.
Your digging paid off, I see.
Killing the Deep Slayer of Assumption House has freed our Nicastro informant to tell us all he knows of Abyssal Nectar, where it is made, and how to steal a vial of it from my tropic device. Submissions unlocked, complete heist, the Cold Epiphany, to steal a sample of House Nicastro's Abyssal Nectar. Optionally, complete prep work, Terror in a Bottle, and Graven Images to make this heist run more smoothly.
Zorana Nicastro, poet, duelist, and bloody-handed zealot, with a swarm of horrors at her command. The source of her power, a mysterious elixir called Abyssal Nectar. She makes it at the Pump House, a secluded distillery on the Baltic. And in our hands, it will be the key to her undoing. What did you find out there? A fruitful trip, I see. Welcome back. Your mission was successful. Several hours ago, our Nicastro informant started speaking, and has hardly stopped since.
Yeesh. Guess that Deep Slayer really was binding his tongue.
He told me everything. Everything we need to know to retrieve the Abyssal Nectar.
So, where are we going?
A distillery on the coast of the Baltic Sea. He calls it the Pump House. The nectar is made there, and special tools are required to, in our new friend's words, extract it. The extraction tools are kept on a tramp steamer, docked at the Pump House. You'll need to board the ship before entering the facility.
Board a boat, steal the extraction tools, then extract the nectar. Got it.
One more thing. Our new friend tells me that Lady Nicastro has been fortifying the Pump House and its surrounding docks. You might disable those extra defenses if you wish. Or you could simply spring the heist. I leave it to you to decide.
Okay. Still just safe house missions. No new agent recruitment missions. I really hope that I can get the rest of them before I beat the game. But we'll see. I mean, I can't put off the doomsday clocks forever. Alright, so it might be worth doing the Marteau Infernal mission, just to stop the next breakpoint. And then start setting up the Nicastro heist. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. But for now, I'm going to call it here. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next one.